May see some scattered showers, especially later in the day on Thanksgiving. And that night, cold front moved through early Friday morning, bringing back the fall chill. WWL TV chief meteorologist Chris Franklin will be back with the local weather expert forecast.
Huh? Oh, that's. I don't know what this is. Let's see.
Now we have basically one jail with a select supervision model. His opponent, position yourself as a reformer and slammed the sheriff with a lack of transparency and leadership.
I don't believe the employees, including all the deputies, are valued at WWL. They're not trained appropriately, paid appropriately, and they're not allowed to be a part of the solution. If they were, the consent decree would have been done by now.
Hudson says she does not support building the new mental health facility. You can hear both sides of the argument at WWL.com. And an LSU energy expert spoke with WWL about the president's decision to release strategic oil reserves and then on the price of gas.
LSU Center for Energy Studies Executive Director David Dismuke says as we enter the holiday travel season,
This is just a classic example of excessive politics.
even with the order being issued today, it's not expected to have an impact on prices at the pump until mid to late December. Dismuke says supply and demand have been driving up prices along with Biden energy policies, deterring investments in the industry, and that includes natural gas.
Prices that are relatively high for this time of year. Most households, the real worry is not so much the gasoline price, but the utility bills this winter.
Brooke Thorrington, WWL First News.
Climate advocates blasted the move, calling it a betrayal of the president's campaign promise to pursue policies that would reduce carbon emissions. And far more people are traveling this year for Thanksgiving. WWL TV's Jay Cunningham reports local health officials urge everyone to take precautions not to spark another COVID spike.
Millions of families all across the country will be reunited for the holiday, but for some, it'll be the first time since the pandemic started. And while Louisiana is seeing a lower trend in COVID cases, doctors are still warning you need to take precaution to help keep your family healthy.
Now, your Garcia Roofing forecast on WWL.
It'll be chilly again tonight, not quite as cold overnight. We'll fall into the 40s and 50s, so maybe a light jacket to begin the morning on Wednesday, but by the afternoon, you can lose it. High temperatures are back into the 70s above the average. Average at the high this time of year is now 69. We're into the 50s and 60s to start the morning on Thanksgiving, so you probably won't need the sweater. And as we head into the afternoon, lower to mid-70s and more humid. Facing some spotty to widely scattered showers, especially later in the day Thursday as another cold front moves in. Timing for the front still in question, but it does look like either late Thursday or early morning Friday it pushes through, with temperatures dropping through the day. Friday highs will stay in the 50s, and Saturday morning we're back into the 30s and 40s with afternoon highs in the lower 60s. From your local weather expert forecast center, I'm WWL TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Franklin. And I'm Matt Doyle, WWL First News.
The station you turn to when it counts. WWL.com and the Odyssey app. Louisiana's official emergency management station. This is Ida Recovery Connection with attorney Doug Sinceri. Connect now on the Open Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870. Now, beaming back to our Jefferson Financial Federal Credit Union studio, here's Doug.
Hey, good evening. Happy Thanksgiving weekend. A week. This is Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers, Sinceri, and Ida Recovery Connection. Give us a call at 260-1870. You can talk, call us, or text us on the text line. Got Michelle here. Thank you, Michelle, for walking across the hall.
You're welcome. I'll be happy to do it.
Little problems there. Yeah, we're beaming back from Mandeville to the Jefferson Financial Federal Credit Union studio back on Porter Street, 400 Porter, 7th floor. And we're here to talk about almost 3 months post Hurricane Ida, and we're here to take your Hurricane Ida insurance claims. And So we'll just give us a call 260-1870. I think we're sort of in the midst of I've received my initial payment. It's lowballed, and what do I do next?
Right.
And
I
then,
think that's where a lot of people are right now.
and the second part is people who are receiving checks are also having their mortgage company put on the checks, and they're wondering on how to deal with that.
Right.
And it makes it a little tougher because a lot of the mortgage companies now are from out of state, and so you don't have a local branch to go to in order to, talk with someone in person. You have to call and stay on the phone, and but basically, I guess one of the issues I had a lot of issues I had this week is a lady. She probably had about $100,000 worth of damage, and the insurance company only paid about 20. But she does have $100,000, so she's going through the readjustment process. And she called the mortgage company and says, how we, she had to send it, and she received the check. It was in her name in the mortgage company, so she sent it to the mortgage company, and they kept it in escrow. And they said, we're going to keep this money, but when you're 25% complete, we'll pay $5,000. We'll pay 25%.
What?
That's what they said. And when you're 50% complete with your repairs, we'll pay another 25%.
25% of the $100,000?
No, of the 5,000. In other words, she only got 20,000, but she has about $100,000 in damage.
I know, but they're going to want their house completed up to the 100,000.
Right, that's the problem. The bank is saying when you complete 25% of your house,
I know, meaning 25,000.
25,000, we'll give you $5,000. And so we're dealing with that.
Oh, the joys.
Well, what happens is the customer service rep is reading off the script, saying you have to, when it's 25% complete, we'll give you 25%. When it's 50% complete, we'll give you 50%.
Yeah, the script works well if you get 100,000.
Right.
Not if you only get.
Hence is the problem. So we're starting to run, and our initial advice is that we're going to get on the phone sometime soon, is explain that she needs the 20,000 just to do the roof, right, to do the crown, because if you don't do the roof, you're going to continue to get water infiltration every time it rains. So we're just at that point, you say, may I speak to a supervisor? And then, I guess it's you don't start running those type of problems with the adjuster. With the mortgage company. But I wanted to do something. I wrote down some things just for people who are sort of frustrated because they're saying, gee, I know there's a lot more damage. I received a check for $5,000 or $10,000. I know there's lots of damage here. And I was going to run down a list of readjustments that we did. And just to show that, hey, you are not crazy. That
you are not crazy.
You are not crazy. You aren't crazy in the sense that you feel like, hey, I received this money. I have so much more damage. And they're trying to convince me that, water that goes through the window isn't covered. Or, the dry rot was there before the storm. Or that, we got the cat here. Or that you have, that your roof doesn't need to be replaced, it needs to be repaired. Or the floor that was saturated and buckling, it just needs to be sanded down, it doesn't need to be replaced. When you have those type of issues, and you're thinking maybe I have $50,000 or $80,000 of damages, and they only paid me $5,000 or $10,000, you're like, what am I missing here? What am I missing? And a lot of times you're not missing anything. And I'm going to give you some concrete examples of what you're not missing. All right. So first of all, I've just gone through just a sampling of some of the cases that we're involved with. They had one house, which is around the corner from us in Mandeville, and the insurance company paid $0.
Gotta love it.
They said it was under the deductible. Our contractor went in there and he did an assessment for $113,274.32.
Did they get it paid?
Well, that's what the assessment is. Our reassessment was.
Right.
So it went from zero. The parameters are from $0 to $113,000. Now, that's a huge. I mean, that's a huge difference. And I guess the mediation process and the litigation process is going to determine what number. But I think that particular homeowner was pretty outdone, saying, it was substantial damage. They had a 3-level house, and water coming down the wall. All 3 levels, and the insurance company said, nope, 0. You're under the deductible. I had another reassessment for the insurance company paid $23,999.85, and the contractor's reassessment was $88,451.83. Another one. This is a house in Kenner. Well, the last house I just said was in Butte. So this is sort of a cross-set reference all over Southeast Louisiana. Another house in Kenner. The insurance company paid $17,021. The contractor's estimate was $148,862.24.
Holy moly, that's a big difference.
I got a few that's better. All right. A house in Metairie. Payment was $99,356.93 as the initial payment by the insurance company. The contractor's estimate was for the insured or the policyholder was $90,071.28. Okay, two more. A home in Kenner. Insurance company paid $30,326.43. The policyholder's contractor, $91,677.32. That's about 61 grand difference. Okay, this is probably one of the worst we're seeing. And I'm not going to say who it is, but Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes would probably not be happy about this. Just a hint. And with their assessment was $36,494.92 was paid out, and the contractor's estimate is $177,359.55. A difference of about $140,000.
Wow.
So a lot of people who are.
Can you fight the depreciation amount, or is that just a negotiation tool?
Well, you can. What happens is part of what when a claim settled in litigation, part of the deals are usually involve the insurance company paying the recoverable depreciation. Or as we say, they cut it loose. And so that's part of the I guess deal is when they're in litigation, because at that point they're burning money too, money that they don't want to burn, and they probably want to resolve as many claims as they can. So I know Judge Wilkerson said there was 300,000 claims he presided over. A lot of those were class action suits from the levy. But I mean, I would say there was a significant number, and insurance companies burn a lot of money defending a lot of claims. So at that point, when you're in the litigation process and you have a decent claim, they will go ahead and they'll cut loose the recoverable depreciation, whether or not you got your house fixed or not, just to say, okay.
Because I'm assuming this contractor appraisals are not taken into account depreciation.
No. They just saying this is how much it costs to fix it.
Right.
And so, so a lot of people were like, okay, when I hear that, I'm sort of validated that I'm not crazy, because there's just a disconnect when somebody walks through your house and you got maybe 5 or 6 rooms with water damage. You got some floors that need to come out. You got these windows that are not sealed. You have siding that's off, and they come back and the insurance company come back and says, "Nah, you're under the deductible." You just feel like it's not even. It's just such a big disconnect. You feel discombobulated, and it's just, it is what it is. And I think some insurance companies have different philosophies. Some are lowball a lot and say, prove it.
Right.
And some work with you a little more. There's a couple insurance companies that we haven't come across yet, and because they sort of get out in front of it. So those are sort of the, I guess, for the people who are like scratching their head and saying, "What's the deal?" And again, I go back to our friend Joe Respondi said. He says, the insurance company's not your friend in the sense they're not going to quantify your damages. What is that cat doing over there?
She's happy I'm home.
She's happy we're home. So, but basically, if you're in that position right now and you feel a huge disconnect, I think basically you can feel like, hey, this is happening to everyone. It's not abnormal, and we're you just have to deal with it. And that's what we're here for, is to teach you how to get information. And we'll when we come back from this segment, we'll just say what we've been saying for the last 3 months is how to deal with it when you get that low ball offer. So let's go to a break. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers Sinceri, and the Ida Recovery Connection. We'll be right back after this brief time out. Oh, it's working.
If you or a loved one is suffering from Parkinson's disease, listen to Springfield Wellness Center's founder, Paula Doris Medicare.
People started coming to us and asking for help for things other than addiction. We have a Parkinson's patient here who comes in once a month and gets his little booster, because that's what you have to do. In 2 hours after he started, his cameras and his a major marketing challenge.
All right. Something sounds good. Okay, I'm gonna fix it. All right. Speakers. What's going on?
Springfield Wellness Center. SpringfieldWellnessCenter.com.
The holidays are the perfect time to announce your engagement.
All your friends and family will be together.
Every one of them is going to want to see your engagement ring.
If you're going to do it.
Come to Ramsey.
Oh, I know what's wrong. Jeez, I'm so.
Updated Diamond Solitaire.
What happened?
I'm hooked up.
Solitaire.
Gosh, I'm so out of practice. Gosh.
Everyone likes it.
Give us prices.
The updated Solitaire ring covered in diamonds starts at just $899.
And the center stone?
For less than $15, you can buy a 3-carat diamond or a 1-carat created diamond. So your total price for the ring could be as little as $2,500.
And we can go as big as you want to go.
Ramsey's Diamond Tours is the largest diamond store in Louisiana, on Veterans between Bonneville and West End in Metairie.
Since 1935, the Allstate Sugar Bowl has been a proud New Orleans New Year's Day tradition, and for 87 years, the Sugar Bowl has hosted top-ranked teams, All-Americans, and national champions. Now, on New Year's Day, the best of the Big 12 and SEC will square off in the 88 All-State Sugar Bowls. Get your tickets today. Visit allstatesugarbowl.org for ticket information. Last spot is up with Heart by Allstate, the Louisiana Office of Tourism, and Taco Bell.
If you have an unpaid tax debt to the IRS that you can't pay, please hear this special notice. Specially approved IRS relief programs designed to aid delinquent taxpayers are now in effect that can significantly improve your financial situation. Depending on your circumstances, you may qualify to have your tax problem resolved in your favor, and may even have your back taxes reduced by thousands or eliminated entirely. A relief hotline has been established by Community Tax for you to call and see if you qualify at 800-256-4180. If you owe the IRS back taxes that you can't afford to pay, don't let the IRS trick you into thinking you have no way out. Our highly accredited tax professionals will let you know what you qualify for and how much you can save. We may be able to stop all liens, garnishments, levies, and save you thousands. Call call and see if you qualify for this taxpayer relief at 800-256-4180. 800-256-4180. 800-256-4180. Community Tax. Who's your tax guy? What a year. End it on a high note with a gift of emeralds, sapphires, rubies, pearls, or natural diamonds from Open Heart Jewelers. Choose from a stunning selection of rings, bracelets, earrings, and necklaces in every
Here we go after this.
Okay.
the world for those standout gorgeous gemstones. You can buy them direct at the lowest possible price. Gemstones from Thailand, Brazil, India, Australia, now part of the Open Heart collection. Make this year exceptional, in a good way, with a gift from Open Heart Jewelers on Metairie Road.
Back to the Ida Recovery Connection on the station you turn to when it counts. WWL, the Big 870 AM, 105.3 FM, WWL.com, and the Odyssey app. Contact attorney Doug Sinceri now on the Open Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers Sinceri, the Ida Recovery Connection on WWLAMFM.com. Odyssey.com, and we're on every Tuesday night. We're also going to All Things Legal will be on Sunday with former St. Paul's quarterback from 1979, Albert Nico, and
Poor Albert.
poor Albert. So we'll be back on Sunday morning. Saints are playing Tuesday night, so we will be on Sunday, and we'll be on
Thursday
the
night.
They're playing Thursday night. Tonight's Tuesday night.
Tonight's
So
Tuesday.
they're already playing in 2 days. So they play Thursday night. And they're going to play the following Thursday night against the Cowboys. So there's 2 playoff teams they're playing on Thursday night, next 2 Thursday nights. I think the next 2 games will determine whether we're contenders or pretenders. So we'll see. And then Tiger fans, 1 more regular season to go for LSU. Saints against Texas A&M in the Tiger Stadium. Listen for the final Coach Ed Orgeron show tomorrow from 7 to 8. On your home for LSU Sports, WWL, AMFM.com, and Odyssey app. I think would like to listen to Coach. I think history is going to look very kindly on Coach Orgeron because when they look at it prospectively, because of his love for LSU.
Sure.
So I'll bet LSU matches up well with Texas A&M this year because Texas A&M is not a great passing team and they're not a great offensive team, much like Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it could be a game like Arkansas where it was 16-13 because LSU really contained Arkansas. And we'll see. If they win, they become bowl eligible, and they would probably play last week of December, not in one of the big bowls, but give the guys a little experience.
Right.
And the 3, now we're going to talk about Hurricane Ida in a second, but from what I gather, the 3 most probable candidates are the 2 is Dave Aranda and Billy Napier.
Where'd you hear that?
It's just not officially. I'm just using my just, I guess, my instincts. Nothing official. Only because Jimbo's not available. Lincoln Riley's flirting with LSU. I mean, it's like he's,
I thought he was
shimmying his shoulders and
right.
playing with, twisting his hair and saying, well, what do you have for LSU? He's probably trying to get an extension out of Oklahoma. Mel Tucker is negotiating
I thought he signed an extension already.
They're talking about it now. They lost to Ohio State 49-7. Really, really tough loss, but that really doesn't matter. So I think Mel Tucker's probably out. I like Billy Napier personally. He's an offensive guy. Played for Dabo. He's offensive coordinator. Also played for Nick Saban, and he's already in Louisiana. But he's not that big name they were hoping to land. But
Right.
you want to hire the best person. It doesn't need to be the big name. Dabo Sweeney was Tommy Bowden's assistant.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The big names at one time were not the big names.
Right. And Dabo, when he was hired full time, didn't shock the world. And there's been a lot of hires that aren't.
Was Dabo the one who came from? Was he was selling real estate?
He was selling. Well, yeah. Dabo walked on at Alabama.
Right.
coached under Gene Stallings as a grad assistant.
Right. And then
Gene Stallings was out. And then Tommy Bowden had coached with him, Dabo, at Alabama under Stallings, I believe. And when Tommy took the job, Dabo was selling commercial real estate for a year. He said, come out, quit selling real estate, come be a coach. And 6 years later, he's the head coach, and he's a legend. So that's where I think. It's just my personal opinion. But what do I know? I'm just a hurricane. I'm a lawyer who works Tuesday and Sunday mornings talking about hurricane insurance claims. But we were talking last hour. We were talking about the disparity of claims, about what maybe the actual damages were, and what the initial payment was by the insurance company. And we'll say it again: when you get that initial payment, it's okay to cash. A lot of those payments will have a payee as a mortgage company, and you have to deal with your bank when that happens. But cash it. There's no recourse for doing that. Now, what do you do in response to that? And the question is, you have to quantify your damages. It's up to the policyholder to prove the insurance company wrong. And we often hear policyholders, homeowners just say, look, I tried to get the insurance company out here to take a second look. They missed this, they missed this, they missed that. And I tell them, I said, they're not coming out. They're really
it's
not.
not their job to come out.
They're not coming out. I said, what the focus is, instead of, begging them to come out and take a second look, you're just going to have to quantify your own damages.
And some of them do come out. I mean, I was talking to somebody, I'm not going to name names, at a party we had here not long ago. And he was talking about, you just have to get your insurance company out there. They'll come out and they'll do a readjustment. They'll come back out here. And I don't know who his insurance company is, but that's not been they don't have to. They don't have to come out and take a second look.
I think what you have to do is just, they will take a second look if you quantify the damages and you submit a demand.
Yeah, this was not that way.
Yeah. Well, for the most part, if you are able to quantify your damages, and there's more and more contractors, especially the ones who are going to do the repairs, a lot of them will have the Xactimate program that the insurance companies use. And it's really a good tool for them.
Sure.
Because a lot of times, contractors walk in and sort of eyeball and do a takeoff that way. And it's not, you're doing it based on experience, but it's not down to the penny. And I think where they might do a square footage, or they may do some type of generic type of pricing. Whereas if you do have the Xactimate program, which is the program that the insurance companies use, then you would have a more of an objective basis to determine, what the scope is. You just have to get the right pricing in there. A lot of the pricing that was being used or still being used for the adjustments are pre-Hurricane Ida prices, which are a lot less, and they were already somewhat inflated due to COVID.
Is it pre-inflation prices too?
Inflation. Inflation is good. I heard that from Washington. Inflation is good. It means there's bigger demand.
Oh.
I'd like to hear an economist who...
Econ 101, huh?
Yeah. Econ 101, 102, 2001. Yeah, he missed them. You were econ major.
I was.
Did they teach you that inflation was good?
No.
All right.
I must have missed that class.
There you go. All right. We got phone lines. Who do we have? All right. We got David from Gentilly. Hey, Dave, you on Ida Recovery Connection. What can we do for you?
Hey, Doug. So, some comments on the cost of contracting prices for houses with storm damage. I've been in the HVAC industry for 25 years, been around construction for the same amount of time. What we found after Katrina was a lot of insurance companies paid as the max. They just paid more than they needed to.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've seen with this current situation is that the insurance companies are being tighter with their money, bottom line. the contractors got sued after Katrina for hidden damage
Right.
that they did not see, that was not covered necessarily by insurance, that say the whole left side of your house got damaged. But the insurance company said, well, it's just these two rooms.
Right.
And after that, issues started showing up with moisture issues, mildew, mold issues, especially on outside walls of homes.
Mm-hmm.
And contractors were being sued.
Yes.
So now contractors are going the extra mile. Not all. Some contractors are shysters,
Yep.
many. But a lot of contractors are going the extra mile to basically play the CYA game, if you know what that means.
Sure.
And that's why a lot of these quotes seem to be inflated over what insurance wants to cover. But insurance only wants to cover just what they want to cover.
Right.
They're not extending it in any way.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect case in point. In 2019, I lived right off of I-65, and there was a microburst or a tornado that hit this beautiful house of I-65 and totally decimated it. Well, a 14-foot chunk of that house flew 700 yards and landed in my house.
Mm-hmm.
Right through my room.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah, it took out my daughter's bedroom and her bathroom. And then it rained for 3 hours continuously in my home after that before I could get home and patch the roof with plywood and tarps. But after that, we had our adjuster come out, and he looked at it and actively challenged me on removing carpet that was soaking wet because carpet will dry.
Yeah, it'll dry and it'll be mildewed.
Then,
Yeah. Well,
it will dry only if I remove the underlayment floor underneath it on the raised house. And then challenged me on why did I put holes in the sheetrock
right.
where water was actively dripping through door frames.
Right. Well,
and we went through all of that. My wife is a licensed insurance agent,
mm-hmm.
and when the guy was giving me lip about it, I said, well, let's go into, because I was ready to throw him out of my house. I said, let's go in the attic. And this piece of the other home that flew through mine took out 8 roof trusses in my attic, completely destroyed a 20-foot section of my roof.
David, let's go. Can you hold? Yeah. We got to go to a break. Can you hold, and you can finish that up, and we'll talk a little bit more about that situation and how to deal with it. But so let's go to a break. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demarest, Sinceri, and Ida Recovery Connection. We'll be back with David to finish his situation in 2019, and we'll be right back after this brief timeout.
Where's it going? Please?
I know. I'm going to get out before commercial.
Okay, we have David, who is on momentarily, and then we have Al from Hammond.
From the state's next opponent, it's two matchups in the NFC South. To LSU's next battle, the big clashes in the SEC. We'll make our picks.
Yeah, you need to
and
get
hear
Sky
the picks
after
from
you.
you.
I gotta
Fans
get
out there who believe the class
Yeah,
is
that's
on,
it.
and purple
Yeah,
and
no,
gold. Hawks and Goose. Fans in the pros. Fridays, 4 to 7
Did you represent
p.m.
him or
here on
something?
WWL. DraftKings Sportsbook is coming soon.
It's feeling like it's a setup for something.
It won't be long until you can bet on all your favorite sports from the comfort of your own home. To celebrate, DraftKings Sportsbook is giving customers $100 in free bets when you sign up before they go live. No deposit required. DraftKings is bringing their experience as a leader in daily fantasy sports to the sports betting world and have created one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps, DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code BIG870 when you sign up. Those who sign up right now will get $100 in free bets to use once mobile sports betting hits Louisiana. That's code BIG870 to get $100 in free bets instantly.
only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-770-STOP. 7867. 21 and over. Louisiana only. Availability varies by parent. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full terms and conditions.
In New Orleans, a one-of-a-kind love deserves a one-of-a-kind engagement ring in a box from Oakland Heart. At Oakland Heart Jewelers, our diamond experts offer a ginormous selection of unique and popular engagement ring styles, many created by our own award-winning master craftsmen. And for generations, we've made the engagement ring shopping experience in New Orleans one of a kind as well. Sure, Oakland Heart is luxurious, but we pride ourselves on being warm and down to earth too. And we're always honored to be included in the milestones in your life. You share your excitement with us, and we'll share our knowledge with you. Listen to this online review from Michael and Gretna. Oakland Heart, you're amazing. I not only had the pleasure of picking out my fiance's engagement ring, but we had an amazing experience creating her wedding ring. She had this beautiful idea they made into reality. And did we mention we offer interest-free financing? There's a great work of art and a great value in every box from Oakland Heart on Metairie Road.
Do you want a pay raise and health insurance for you and your dependents at no additional cost? UA Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 60 here in New Orleans is looking for experienced plumbers, pipe fitters, HVAC mechanics, and apprentices of all levels. UA Local 60 is offering you a career, not a job. Make a good living while earning a pension to retire comfortably. Join an organization that puts its members and their families first. Call UA Local 60 now at 504-201-4102 or visit ualocal60.org.
I'm attorney Mike Brandner. Your car is like part of the family. It takes you to work, drops the kids off at school, and goes with you on vacation. You feel safe in your car, but all that changes in an instant. Now you need money for medical bills, car repairs, and lost wages. You need help, and you need it now. Call 345-1111. The call is free, the consultation is free, and the advice is free. You have nothing to lose and a whole lot to gain.
My friend is the one called 345-1111. Results may vary. Offices in Metairie and Hammond.
People's Health wants you to know that Medicare's open enrollment period is right now. For more information, call 1-855-821-2666 or visit peopleshealth.com. That's peopleshealth.com.
Hello, I'm Mel Levesque with Apron Agencies. If you have Medicare questions, don't call an 800 number. Call a local agent. Call us, Apron Agencies, 504-834-9280. Apron Agencies, 504-834-9280.
Brandon Ollie here. Premium Windows. Professionally measured, professionally installed. ReliefWindows.com. Rejuvenate your days with Rejuvame. RejuvameMedical.com. Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We are all on
So
this
is he
planet together.
is he
Okay,
talking?
going after this.
Is he talking about
Having
your
turkey for the holidays. Buy from a
our
local
adjusters
farm or
numbers are
get
inflated because
USDA
they're covering
organic or
MS?
certified humane. Join
Yeah,
Odyssey and together the
no,
people is doing one thing makes it greener
I
tomorrow.
think
What's your
one thing that's a little
Thanks for joining
Just
attorney
not
Doug
deceiving, but
Sinceri on the
is
Ida
that
Recovery Connection.
those numbers
From
don't
the station
include
you turn to
appreciation.
when it counts.
yeah.
WWL. Consult with Doug now on the Oakland Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers Sinceri, and Ida Recovery Connection. We got Dave, and Dave was just finishing up. You're discussing about contractors' prices and the scope that's allowed by the insurance company in a particular situation that you were involved with, and if we could tie that up as far as your comment on that.
What I'll tie it up is this. Long and short, I knew contractors. I had enough people to get my home square. I was probably shorted by the insurance company by $3,000 to $5,000, but it didn't doesn't matter. I got it taken care of. But from what you said earlier in your show, a lot of people are being shorted, tens of thousands of dollars. And it greatly concerns me because the contractors, most your good contractors, are looking at the whole house, and there's a lot of damage that may be hidden that cannot be seen by
on the first,
a guy who shows up with
absolutely.
a 6-foot ladder and a pen and paper.
No, it's a very good point. In fact, I was to build on that point. Today, I had a claim where the insurance company didn't pay on a roof. They acknowledged they wanted to, they needed to pay it, and they said, "Can we sign a full receipt and release?" And I said, "No." I said, "What happens if you pull up the roof and you find out you need to get more decking because of the hurricane damage and issues like that."
So there were secrets that I learned from my wife, who was an insurance agent, that most companies don't cover past roofs.
No, they don't. Absolutely.
So they'll pay the patch.
They won't cover
it. If you have another claim and you have a past roof, they won't cover it.
Amen. Exactly right.
So my story is insignificant in this, but most people don't have relationships with contractors, and people do that kind of work.
Right.
So
I think that's why go ahead.
I know. Go ahead.
No, that's why it's very important if you're going to quantify your damages. It's good to use the same computer program the insurance companies are using, so you're comparing apples to apples, oranges to oranges, and it makes it more easily digestible, and you're on the same page. Because if you do a square footage estimate or a room by room estimate that's holistic, the scope is not always defined. And then if in the contractor gets in trouble, if they find hidden damage, they say, "Well, that was part of your scope." So that's how the disputes happen.
Then the contractor winds up on the hook for it.
Right.
And I'm sure you love to make money, but you don't want to have to be involved in lawsuits.
No, nobody does.
Where homeowners got the shaft from insurance companies, and now they're having to go back and pay money they don't have.
Right. And another problem insurance contractors have is if there's $100,000 of damage, the insurance company's only paying $50,000. How are you going to do a $100,000 job on $50,000? Or what parts do you fix and what parts you don't? And contractors don't like to get into that because the part you don't fix. Yeah.
Cost of building materials are at that time.
Right.
Versus, right now, 2 months ago when the highest they had been inspected for damage, those building materials may have gone up 30%.
Right. Well, I think the other practical problem is if you have $100,000 of damage, but you only have $50,000 from the insurance company, a lot of contractors aren't going to want to do a $50,000 job on $100,000 of damage because where you stop, the unrepaired damage is going to cause more damage. Moisture. So, and then the homeowner wants to go back to the contractor saying, "Well, you were supposed to remedy that." And I said, "Well, no, that's not my scope." And that's the whole dilemma there, without getting enough money to cover the full extent of damages. So, well,
correct. And I just wanted to put that out there that a lot of these, which insurance companies seem to be excessive, claims for or excessive amounts for repair necessarily are not excessive.
Yeah.
It's called the insurance adjusters don't necessarily see all the damage because they're not trained. They took a weekend seminar and they're claims adjusters.
Right, and it's an hour and a half inspection, 2 hours.
Yes, sir.
So thanks for the call, and we're going to go to a break, and we'll catch Al on the other side of the break. But one of the things that was different with Katrina is a lot of flood insurance policies were paid by zip code, so they had a lot of money floating around. But that's, this time that's not happening. So let's go to a break. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers Sinceri, Ida Recovery Connection. We'll be right back after this brief time out.
Diamonds Direct celebrates the holidays with you with a magical offer to make your dream gift more affordable than ever.
Is Al still on?
4 years, zero interest financing.
Hey, Doug.
Dreaming of a new engagement ring, a bigger diamond, an elegant pair of diamond earrings, or a
Doug.
stunning diamond eternity band. With this amazing offer, you can afford to go big this Christmas. Just pick any item.
We've got Al from Hammond and Richard from Kenner, and we'll have about 6 minutes to cover both of those, or just one.
At Diamonds Direct, our showcases are filled this year with gifts you'll absolutely love. Gifts that will last a lifetime. Colored gemstones, all new designer jewelry from New York and LA, and the biggest collection of rare precious diamonds we've ever offered. It all starts Black Friday. Diamonds Direct special holiday finance offer. Get holiday hours, directions, and see exclusive online Black Friday offers at diamondsdirect.com. On approved credit.
If you are a loved one or suffering from addiction, listen to Springfield Wellness Center's founder, Paula Norris Metier.
I feel personally, when I walk around on the grounds, that it's sacred ground. It's healing. Just the environment is healing. Just being here makes one feel like that, I can let go. I can let go of the worry. I can let go of the stress that I've been carrying around for a long time. We don't shame anybody. We don't blame anybody. We don't judge anyone. Just that alone really is the foundation on which everything else that we do is done.
Put your addiction behind you. Call Springfield Wellness Center, 504-291-4000.
Just call us. That's all. And we'll be waiting for you.
504-291-4000. 291-4000.
Just the statistics on Kenner.
Springfield Wellness Center. SpringfieldWellnessCenter.com.
Have you been lied to? Lied to by Washington politicians and the Wall Street propaganda machine? Hi, this is best-selling author Rory Richard from right here in Louisiana, and I want to give you a free copy of my new book, Crash Proof Wealth. Because according to Time magazine, Wall Street's retirement plans and 401ks have failed millions of Americans. After seeing the last market crash over 39%, I said enough. I've discovered a way to grow money potentially double digits, reduce taxes dramatically, and also have my money protected when the next stock market crash hits. When the next market crash hits, you lose nothing. Call Platinum Financial now to get a free copy of my book and talk to me personally to discover this little-known strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years and never lose when the next stock market crash hits. Call 1-800-259-3131 to discover this asset that people like Walt Disney and JCPenney used to grow wealthy. And I'll even cover shipping and handling. No credit card required. Call 1-800-259-3131. That's 1-800-259-3131. Again, 1-800-259-3131.
Are you getting the runaround from your Hurricane Ida insurance company?
Is your insurance company not returning your call?
Are you being denied a new roof?
Are you receiving lowball payments from your insurance company?
We can help. Call me, Doug Sinceri, WWL radio host and attorney at Nico and Sinceri Law Firms in Mary, or go to our website at idahurricaneclaim.com.
Or on the North Shore, call me, Michelle Demers Sinceri, at our office in Mandeville at 985-624-9697. We'll show the insurance company who's boss.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more reliability, durability, and versatility built in. Like #1 selling Kubota VX and L Series compact tractors, Z Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Visit your local Kubota dealer for a demo today.
Ascension Equipment in Gonzales is your Southeast Louisiana Kubota dealer. Save more today and mow tomorrow.
Can you pick winners? Well, then you can win cash.
Okay, we're going right up to this.
Okay.
In the Rocket Mortgage Pro Football Pickup. Just pick the most games right this week, and you can score $1,000. Just like that. No lineups, no spreads, no rosters, and a brand new game each week. The Rocket Mortgage Pro Football Pickup. It's totally free to play, so enter now by texting PICS to 20357. That's PICS to 20357.
It's continuing coverage of the Ida recovery on WWLAMFM.com and the Odyssey app. Reach attorney Doug Sinceri now on the Oakland Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers Sinceri, Ida Recovery Connection. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to Al from Hammond. Hey, Al, what you here for us, brother?
Oh, how's everything?
Good, man.
Always enjoy you.
Thank you.
My question is, several years back, my neighbor had a rotten tree, a big old water oak that I pointed out to him that it was rotten. It would probably fall on my house. I called my insurance company. They came and looked at it and said, yeah, it'll probably fall on your house. It's just nothing you can do about it. It'll fall from your house. Well, it did fall on my house. Did over $160,000 worth of damage. It was all repaired. I was happy with the repairs. My insurance company tried to sue his insurance company with zero success because they said I did not send a certified letter to pointing out the imminent danger of this tree.
Mm-hmm.
So they said if it was that big of a deal, I should have just went ahead and cut it down myself, which I probably should have. So recently, with Ida, there was a big old tree all the way at the back of my property, on the same neighbor's property, fell onto my property in my back field. I assume there's nothing I can hold them responsible for.
Probably not, unless you could establish it was diseased and he knew about it, your neighbor, and that's a hard burden to. It's a high burden, and it would be considered an act of God. Now, he would be responsible for the cost of removal from your property of that tree.
How does that work?
Well, he's not he's not responsible for the damage caused by the tree, but he is responsible for getting that tree off your property. Now, typically what happens, one way of dealing with it is you would pay to get it removed, and then you would file a claim with his general liability insurer. And that may cover it. Or if it's uninsured, but your neighbor is responsible for the cost of removing that tree from your property.
Right. So, okay, if I call my insurance company and say I found a tree from my neighbor's yard that's all my property,
they're not going to cover it unless the only way they would cover it is under your debris removal portion of your policy.
okay. You got to sit there and go like, oh, my insurance company is just insurance company.
Yeah. So what you could do is you'd say, look, you could do one of two things. You could pay me for the removal or get it to your insurance company and file a claim and let them deal with us.
Or let my insurance company deal with
No. Your insurance company is not going. The only thing your insurance company may pay for that fallen tree is debris removal if you have that in your policy, but that's sometimes only $500 or $1,000. Now, if that covers that, then you're good. But if it's more than that, what you'd have to do is you'd have to file a claim. I'd go to your neighbor and just file a notice, say, hey, or a notice saying, will you please forward this to your homeowner's insurance, to your neighbor's homeowner insurance. Say basically your tree fell on my property and that the cost of removal is X. Here's the invoice. Will you please either A, you reimburse me or send it to your homeowner's insurance and have them contact me regarding reimbursing me. Now, your neighbor would, given the two choices, I'm sure your neighbor would say, okay, I'll send it over to my insurance company. Because they would rather do that than come out of pocket.
Right, I got you.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll just send them a letter. Because believe me, we haven't talked since the first tree fell on my house, causing $160,000 worth of damage. After I pointed out to them what was going to happen.
So you're not having them over for Thanksgiving to see the new repairs? No. All right. But yeah, what I would do is write a letter saying, your tree fell on my property in Hurricane Ida. That this is the cost for the removal of the tree off my property. We request payment from you, or you can forward it to your homeowner's policy insurer and have them contact us regarding resolving this issue.
I got you. Well, I do appreciate that. I was wondering, I don't see how people can get away with that. If they have a bad tree and I pointed it out and my insurance man came
Well,
that it's a different
well, your insurance company had a subrogation rights, and they just decided not to pursue it. I mean, because they already paid you, minus your deductible, probably. So they made the call whether to do it or not. But Al, thanks for the call. Best of luck, and thanks for calling. That was good. Good call, good information. All right, that's hour number 1 on the Ida Recovery Connection. We'll be on until 10 o'clock tonight. Stay tuned for national news and local news. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. So we'll see you in 10.
News Talk Sports Powerhouse. WWL New Orleans, WWL FM and HD 110 in New Orleans, and Odyssey Station.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper in Chicago. The man suspected of driving his SUV through a crowd of parade goers in Waukesha, Wisconsin, makes his first court appearance. Bruce Marcus reports.
Darrell Brooks is currently facing 5 counts of first-degree intentional homicide, but that will go up now that a 6th person has died. The victim has been identified as an 8-year-old boy. Given the seriousness of the charges and Brooks' long criminal history, prosecutors asked Court Commissioner Kevin Costello to set bail at $5 million. Costello's decision?
I know that that's extraordinarily high bail. It's warranted here, and I am setting cash bail in the amount of $5 million.
Bruce Marcus for CBS News, Eagle River, Wisconsin.
Jury deliberations are scheduled to resume tomorrow in the Ahmaud Arbery case in Georgia. CBS's Jim Krasula.
It took Glynn County Superior Court Judge Timothy Walmsley more than a half hour to go through jury instructions, telling the jury,
whatever your verdict is, it must be unanimous. That is, agreed by all, as to each count of the indictment and as to each defendant.
3 white men are accused of chasing down and fatally shooting Ahmaud Arbery, an unarmed 25-year-old black man in a residential area of coastal Brunswick, Georgia, in February of last year. Jim Krasula, CBS News.
President Biden announces the largest ever release of strategic oil reserves to combat high gas prices. Mr. Biden is also making a request.
I've asked the Federal Trade Commission to consider whether potentially illegal and anti-competitive behavior in the oil and gas industry is causing higher prices for consumers.
The latest in a series of so-called smash-and-grab burglaries in California targeted a Nordstrom store in Los Angeles. A sledgehammer was used to break into the building. Similar incidents have taken place near San Francisco and in other states. California Governor Gavin Newsom says police are stepping up patrols there.
We'll see substantially more in and around areas that are highly trafficked coming into the holiday season, Black Friday.
More than 53 million Americans are expected to hit the roads or airports this Thanksgiving. CBS's Errol Barnett got an inside look at how one airline is preparing.
Delta expects to fly more than 478,000 passengers tomorrow and more than 550,000 on Sunday. That's a pandemic record for the airline. Also, United and American Airlines expect the Sunday after Thanksgiving to be their busiest travel days since the pandemic began.
E-cigarette giant Juul Labs has to cough up $14.5 million to settle an Arizona vaping lawsuit. The company also cannot market to young people in the state as part of the consumer fraud lawsuit filed by the Arizona Attorney General's office. This is CBS News.
This hour's newscast is presented by Rocket Mortgage. Need to know what it takes for a home loan to fit your budget and your family? Rocket can.
Want to go someplace new? Yeah, you do.
Follow me, I'll lead the way.
Well, there's confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID. One thing is certain. Whether or not you're vaccinated, you need an accurate thermometer to check for fever, the leading sign of flu and COVID. Be vigilant and contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers that have no scientific studies. Only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Learn more at exergen.com.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Companies. If you thought you missed your chance to refinance and save, think again. Mortgage rates have recently dropped below 3%, and Rocket Mortgage can help you save big. You could lower your monthly payment and prepare yourself for a better financial future. But you've got to act now. Call us today at 833-8-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Conditions apply. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030. The
WWL First News, I'm Matt Doyle on your official weather station, WWL AMFM.com.
A much cooler fall-like day today with morning lows in the 30s, 40s, and low 50s, and afternoon highs staying in the low to mid-60s, so below average and a fairly chilly day. But as we continue through the late evening and night, temperatures won't be getting quite as cold, and we'll be warming up during the day on Wednesday. Morning lows in the 40s and 50s, and a high Wednesday of around 73, 74 for Thanksgiving Day, and a chance for some scattered showers later in the day and night as another cold front moves through early Friday.
WWL TV meteorologist Chris Franklin's local weather expert forecast is coming up. And WWL's Newell Norman hosted both candidates in the Orleans Parish Sheriff's runoff today. Former New Orleans Police Independent Monitor Susan Hudson says if elected, she will not support construction of a new mental health facility at the jail, instead preferring to have inmates treated outside of the prison by local providers.
Who is going to staff this new jail? There is not enough dollars to go around. There are not enough people to go around. This is a waste of funding when we can retrofit at a good cost of taxpayers' money.
17-year incumbent Sheriff Marlon Gustin blasted Hudson's opposition, though.
I'm puzzled as to why people that want to call themselves reformers would not be for what's really a clinic, medical and mental health clinic that's going to help people.
And an LSU energy expert spoke about the Biden administration's move to release oil from the strategic reserves.
President Biden orders 50 million barrels of oil to be released from the strategic reserve to reduce prices at the pump. Supply versus demand has been driving up prices, and LSU Center for Energy Studies Executive Director David Dismuke says it's not a favorable market to invest in petroleum because of clean energy policies enacted by the Biden administration.
As long as we continue to see this, the president's going to have to reconcile his policies with these higher gasoline and domestic energy prices.
The barrels being released won't hit the market until mid to late December.
WWL's Brooke Dorrington. Climate advocates call the move to release the oil a betrayal of the president's campaign promise to pursue policies that would lower carbon consumption and production. And as we get closer to Thanksgiving, we're seeing hotels in New Orleans filling up.
The Cantrell administration says it's very happy to report that New Orleans has emerged from the pandemic as a very safe place to visit during this holiday season.
This weekend, Bayou Classic coming up. We're thrilled to welcome everybody back to New Orleans.
Mayoral spokesman Bo Tidwell says it's exciting to see all the tourists in town and gives you a sense of returning to normal for the holidays. But he says this new normal includes a vaccine mandate.
So you're going to be required to show proof of vaccination or recent negative test if you want to go into these large gatherings or into restaurants and bars.
Dave Cohen, WWL First News.
Now, your Garcia Roofing forecast on WWL.
Lots of sunshine. Morning lows were in the 30s, 40s, and 50s.
Okay, we have Richard from Kenner.
Okay.
We also have Norman from Metairie.
Richard from Kenner and Norman.
Wednesday's highs back into the lower 70s. Lower to mid-70s for Thanksgiving Day after a morning start in the 50s and 60s and a little more humid. Not exactly that fall feel as you're enjoying Thanksgiving dinner, as we'll also see some spotty showers, especially later in the day, in advance of a cold moving through early Friday. The fall chill returns by the end of the week, as highs will struggle into the upper 50s under mostly cloudy skies. We're starting out the weekend in the 30s and 40s Saturday, with highs back into the lower and to mid-60s through Sunday. From your local weather expert forecast center, I'm WWL TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Franklin.
And I'm Matt Doyle, WWL First News.
From the station you turn to when it counts, WWL AMFM.com and the Odyssey app.
Ooh, thank you.
Louisiana's official emergency management station.
Thank you.
This is Ida Recovery Connection with attorney Doug Sinceri. Connect now on the Oakland Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870. Now, beaming back to our Jefferson Financial Federal Credit Union studio, here's Doug.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers Sinceri. Ida Recovery Connection, hour number 2, WWLAMFM.com, Odyssey.com. You can call us at the talk and text line, 260-1870. You can text us or give us a call. Let's go to phone lines. Let's go to Richard and Kenner. Hey, Richard, thank you for holding. What do you have for us, brother?
Hello, Doug and Michelle. Good to talk to you. I'm your oldest fan.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Well, y'all probably going to play in the Super Bowl. Y'all probably may be the favorite for the Sugar Bowl.
Might be. Listen, it would be nice to be in it again.
Sure.
Got a question, and I think I could ask you this once in a text message or something, but I wanted to elaborate, and it concerns the liability or possible liability that a homeowner might face if he hires an unlicensed contractor who is uninsured, doesn't have liability insurance, doesn't have workers' comp insurance. But for example, if I hire an unlicensed roofer to replace my roof, and he's got a crew working for him, and the way I see it, he's not, an employee of mine. He's an independent contractor. May be unlicensed, but he's still working as an independent contractor.
Mm-hmm.
If one of his employees, one of his crew, or even he himself, falls off my roof or something, gets injured. A two-part question here. Unless I am negligent in some way, how could I be held liable? And the second part, if there is liability, why would my homeowner's insurance not cover it, where I do have liability coverage for people injured, on the premises?
Well, that's a great question. And we've encountered that a lot after Katrina. We've encountered it recently. And what would happen is under workers' comp law, if you have a contractor that is conducting repairs on your residence and the contractor does not have workers' comp, or the subcontractors don't have workers' comp, the owner of the house is now considered, quote, the employer under workers' comp law. So if theoretically, and I'm saying theoretically it's happened, you have a worker for an unlicensed, uninsured contractor, falls off the roof and injures himself, which if you're going to fall 14 feet or 28 feet, chances are you're going to injure yourself pretty good.
Yep, I agree.
And in the general contractor, or maybe the general contractor who hired unlicensed, uninsured roofers don't have insurance, under workers' comp law, the owner of the residence is considered the employer. And they could sue.
By virtue of Louisiana law.
That's Louisiana law. And under workers' comp law, the homeowner would be responsible for 2/3 of their salary while they're unable to work, plus all the medical bills. Now, the cases that we had previously, the potential liability was 6 figures for uninsured. Now, then the second part of your question is, why would not my homeowners cover that? Well, the homeowners policies have a specific exclusion saying we do not cover employee accidents or workers' comp accidents on the insured premises.
Okay, I don't think mine mentions workers' comp. I think it might exclude employees. I'm not sure, but the way I'm looking at it, and I want to let you continue, but the way I'm looking at it, if I hire a contractor and I'm not telling him how to do the job, I just say put a new roof on my house, that he's an independent contractor, and I don't see how I can be liable. You're saying Louisiana law makes me liable nonetheless.
It imputes the homeowner or the owner of the residence, or if it's a commercial property, the owner of the commercial property is responsible for it. So it's a big deal. I mean, really big deal, and that's why it's incumbent, especially if you have, quote, a storm chasing outfit that is coming to Louisiana to do roofing work or repairs, to make sure they're licensed in the state of Louisiana and make sure they have insurance. And, you could either take the step further, say, let me see your certificate of insurance, and call the insurance agent and say, is this policy still in effect? Because a lot of times some of the unscrupulous contractors will get insurance and then cancel it, but still have the certificate for a year. So you definitely want to follow up. But that's a serious issue. Now, we had an interesting case twice where the undocumented workers were the ones who were hurt. And the position the attorney took was, since they're undocumented workers, they can never go back to work in the United States. which made the liability claim, in addition to the injuries, was they were in their 30 years old. So they're saying we're entitled to 30 years of workers' comp from the homeowner. So it was, it's a serious issue. And, if somebody gets hurt, they're going to go after the deep pocket. And if you own a home and you're the deepest pocket, there's no insurance, they're going to go after you. So
I would not, hire an unlicensed roofer. I might hire somebody unlicensed to do some interior work, may or may not, but I'm not going to hire an unlicensed roofer for just that, or at least one that's not insured.
Roofing.
I don't want to hire anyone unlicensed.
Roofing has the highest rating for workers' comp for obvious reasons. You're hanging in suspension, 20 some odd feet.
Well, I've had friends saying that they don't see how they could be held liable if they're hiring a contractor as an independent contractor. And I've looked at my own policy, and I don't see where it would exclude something like that. But I think it may contain an exclusion for a household employee, but I just would not consider the contractor to be a household employee. But if the law says he is, then
yeah.
Well, for the laws of independent contractor, you're saying that you think he's an independent contractor because you're not telling them how to do it. But an independent contractor is really someone who gets to do their own job. You don't tell them where they need to be. And I mean, a roofer is going to be on your roof.
Yeah, and again the independent contractor, if he's not insured for workers' comp, the owner is responsible. Yeah, that's part of the incentive to say, to make sure there's workers' comp. I guess it's a,
I've made many posts on Facebook and on Nextdoor.com telling people to, check to confirm whether your roofer is licensed by the or registered with the Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors, and to make sure he's got both liability and workers' comp insurance, and to see the certificate of insurance and call the insurance company to make sure it's still in force.
Right. In fact, and you can look up on the Louisiana Board for Licensed Contractors. They have a website. You could put the name of the contractor in or the name of the qualifying party, and they'll say whether they're there or not. You can even call and find out, but it's good to double check.
Yeah, I can tell you if somebody is not voluntarily handed over their certificate of insurance, then something is amiss.
It's a red flag, and I'm amazed though at how many people are posting on Facebook and on Nextdoor claiming to be licensed and insured, and it turns out the only license they've got is their business license.
Right, LLC. Yeah.
But it's hard to make people understand that.
Or they get an occupational license or LLC.
Just have a regular occupational license.
Now, okay, one question for you. It's very important. 2 questions. Where are you going to watch the Egg Bowl and who's going to win?
Well, I certainly hope Ole Miss wins, and we will probably watch it from home. In fact, I think I got an email. I haven't read it, but I just glanced at it. I think there's not. Sometimes the New Orleans Alumni Association has watch parties.
Yes.
I think they're not having one for this game.
Oh, no. No.
So I don't know. My wife is a big football fan.
Okay.
Much more so than I am. But my guess is we will be watching it from home.
I have a very selfish reason that I want Ole Miss to win.
You got a good place to watch it.
Well, is it Thanksgiving night or is it going to be Saturday? Is it Friday, Saturday?
I don't know.
Yeah, but I will tell you,
it
used to be Thanksgiving before they had the NFL game. Now, I have one selfish reason why I don't want Mississippi State to win. Is because I can't stand to watch Mike Leach dance in the locker room one more weekend.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw that, but that's why certain people should never dance.
Okay. I believe you, and I can tell some stories about that.
Yeah. So, all right, Richard.
But my wife likes to say that she's proud of having gone to Ole Miss. She says, but my daddy went to Mississippi State to learn how to make enough money to send me to Ole Miss.
There you go. There you go.
And,
yeah.
but she, Yeah, they had a little, family rivalry.
A little thing. They had like a.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Doug.
All right, Rich. Thanks for the call. All right. Well, let's go to a break. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers Sinceri, Ida Recovery Connection. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.
Tiger fans, it's the final game of the Oakland era. Saturday when LSU battles Texas A&M in Death Valley. Game day starts at 2 p.m. Join Christian Garrick and Herb.
Okay, first caller up is Bo from LaPlace. I'm sorry, Norman from Metairie, and then Bo from LaPlace. Norman from Metairie, Bo from LaPlace.
Author Rory Richard from right here in Louisiana, and I want to give you a free copy of my new book, Crash Proof Wealth, because according to Time Magazine, Wall Street's retirement plans and 401ks have failed millions of Americans. After seeing the last market crash over 39%, I said enough. I discovered a way to grow money potentially double digits, reduce taxes dramatically, and also have my money protected when the next stock market crash hits. When the next market crash hits, you lose nothing. Call Platinum Financial now to get a free copy of my book and talk to me personally to discover this little-known strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years and never lose when the next stock market crash hits. Call 1-800-259-3131 to discover this asset that people like Walt Disney and J.C. Penney used to grow wealthy. And I'll even cover shipping and handling. No credit card required. Call 1-800-259-3131. That's 1-800-259-3131. Again, 1-800-259-3131.
Diamonds Direct celebrates the holidays with you with a magical offer to make your dream gift more affordable than ever. Starting this Friday, we're offering 4 years, 0 interest financing. Has she been dreaming of a new engagement ring, a bigger diamond, an elegant pair of diamond earrings, or a stunning diamond eternity band? With this amazing offer, you can afford to go big this Christmas. Just pick any item, get the unbeatable value price Diamonds Direct is known for, and spread your payments over 4 years with 0 interest. Think about a $9,000 designer ring comes out to just $188 a month. At Diamonds Direct, our showcases are filled this year with gifts you'll absolutely love. Gifts that will last a lifetime. Colored gemstones, all new designer jewelry from New York and LA, and the biggest collection of rare, precious diamonds we've ever offered. It all starts Black Friday. Diamonds Direct special holiday finance offer. Get holiday hours, directions, and see exclusive online Black Friday offers at diamondsdirect.com. On approved credit.
Hi, I'm David Ogletree, Senior Vice President of Lending and Field Operations with Louisiana Land Bank. What makes Louisiana Land Bank different, aside from its great loan products, whether it be long-term loans, the most competitive interest rates, what really makes Louisiana Land Bank different is its people. Our lenders know agriculture and know rural property like no other bank. So when you come to Louisiana Land Bank, you're not just getting a loan, you're getting the expertise that comes with the lenders that lend at Louisiana Land Bank. If you're looking for rural property, give us a call.
Hi gang, Bob Breck here for Riverlands Insurance Services. Do you have Medicare questions? Understanding Medicare can be a challenge. My friends at Riverlands have a full staff of local and licensed representatives ready to help you choose your best plan. Since 1972, Riverlands Insurance has served the local community, and now they're ready to discuss Medicare with you. Call 504-217-7420, 504-217-7420, or visit riverlandsinsurance.com. I trust Riverlands Insurance. You can too.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay,
Okay, we're going live after this one.
IRS tax program.
It is Norman from Metairie, followed by Bo from LaPlace.
Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-256-4180. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-256-4180 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-256-4180 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-256-4180.
Back to Ida Recovery Connection on WWL, AMFM.com, and the Odyssey app. You can get expert advice now from attorney Doug Sinceri on the Oakland Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers Sinceri, the Ida Recovery Connection. Let's go to phone lines. Let's go to Norman in Metairie. Hey, Norman, what can we do for you?
Yes, counselors. First of all, that last call that surprised me. I didn't know that we were that vulnerable. Just
yeah.
having a contract with insurance. That took me back.
Oh yeah. That's why we're here.
Thank you very much. Okay, I got two girls that live in my townhouse. They ended up with 7 people living in the townhouse, and they basically destroyed it. I couldn't get it took me 2.5 months to get them out.
Mm-hmm.
But once I got them out, I have their passports, but no driver's license. Is there a service out there that could look them up? Because I like to sue them, but I know they disappeared.
Yes, we contract out a service. I tell you what, if you give us a call tomorrow,
Okay.
I'll give you my phone numbers 504-837-1304.
Gotcha.
And I will give you the name of someone. If you do you have the driver's license?
No, I got their passports.
You got the passports. That'll be helpful. Yeah, they can. With this, yeah, they can. They have a tool that they're licensed for that could find out where they may be located, and that's the toughest part. If you're a landlord and you're dealing with sort of transient tenants,
yes,
it's the hard. It's not hard to get a judgment against them often, but it's often hard to collect on that judgment because of that fact. Because they're just
the amount of damage was done justified the go after fishing expedition.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So there is a service, and if they're out of state, you have to do long arm service, and there's a little to it. And a lot of times, landlords often don't pursue that. Most of the times, they don't pursue it because the cost of chasing them down is greater than the probability of collection. The cost is greater than the probability of collection.
If I could do this as a minimal amount of cost, it would satisfy myself, if nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, I remember trying to lease a house 35 years ago, and I remember they had an old time attorney. He grilled me. I mean, just grilled me about everything, and I was like, oh, it probably would have been illegal now, but some of the questions he asked. But his point was, he knew he wanted to have someone financially viable, or he appeared to be financially viable, and he didn't want to be chasing them around. So, for non-payment. So, it's that's the tough thing about landlords. And, it was very interesting the last year and a half, landlords have had real struggles with, the moratoriums that were placed on a lot, especially in Orleans Parish. And so, hey.
I'm amazed by the, I've been doing this for like 35 years, and I'm down to my last unit, and I've had, I'm not even sure where the government comes from, where they have the audacity.
Well, they didn't have the authority to do it. They didn't have the authority to do it because they tried to do it through the CDC, and it was overreach in the spring. And the interesting part, and I don't want to get into politics, but I'll talk about the law. When it was implemented, the people who implemented it knew it was probably not going to hold up in the Supreme Court, and they wanted to do it to have that extra 3 or 4 months before it was decided. But it is what it is. So that's why we have a Supreme Court. So hopefully they'll continue to check each other, and we won't become China or Russia. So, all right.
You and your lady offer a service that's abundantly amazing. It's appreciated down here.
Well, Norman, that's high praise from you. Norman from Metairie, we appreciate that. That's our hometown, man.
Thank you, Norman. We appreciate it.
Man, I grew up adjacent to the West Esplanade Canal there, so I'm all Metairie. There you go. All right, bro.
Thanks.
All right, thanks for the call. Let's see. Let's go to Bo in LaPlace. Hey, Bo, you on the Ida Recovery Connection?
Hey, Doug, how you doing, man?
Good. What do you have for us, brother?
I hired a water restoration company
Mm-hmm.
coming in, and they took like I got water from the roof, and I got water from the lake. It's like 2 inches in the house from the lake, but it was water from the roof. But anyway, I hired this water restoration company, and they took out 2 feet of sheetrock around the exterior of the house
Mm-hmm.
and the insulation, and then like a third quarter of my ceiling in the cathedral ceiling, I took 2 panels out, and then one out of the room they took out the ceiling, just that the water would come through the roof.
Right.
So anyway, this guy called me up, told me, oh, $25,000. I'm thinking, what? They didn't put it back. All we did was take 2 feet insulation and sheetrock out the house, you know. I think $45,000, they put it back together, you know. But,
Well, did you sign a contract before, or
Did they give a proposal?
and did it have and it had a price and a defined scope of work?
no, they had like, I don't know, 10 pages, some stuff I had to go through. I didn't try to read all of it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think the biggest thing you want to do is, any contract with a contractor of your home, whether it be a contractor to repair your home or water restoration or a roofer or what have you.
I mean, that's like it. They put the blowers in there and supposedly taking water out the slab, you know, that stays in there maybe a week and a half. And look, maybe they worked 5 days in there. Yeah.
I mean, well, I think yeah. I mean, it's based on, the scope of work and the agreed upon price. Now, there is a higher cost at times after a disaster because of demand and supply. So you'd really have to look at the agreement and look at the scope of work. And I know a lot of water restoration contracts, there's some issues. And, again, you have to look at the contract and how well defined, it is. And, if you signed it and they define the scope of work, you're going to have a tough time. Tough time. Well, tough time, if you had a problem with paying $25,000. Yeah. Well, is your insurance company covering it?
Well, he told me my homeowners, they won't pay. I didn't need to pay anything for homeowners. He will take care of that.
Well, that's what they said. Yeah. No, a lot of contracts say we'll pay what the insurance company pays. Now, the only way that can get you though is if you're close to the policy limits. Meaning, let's say you have $100,000 policy limits, and you get water restoration and it costs you $25,000. You only have $75,000 left to deal with if you have additional damage.
That's what it works out.
Yeah, and that's an issue, and that's one of the issues we've been running into, is that the insurance company will pay the restoration company, but on the other hand, it eats into a lot of the policy, and they may not be enough money in the limits to pay the remainder of work that needs to be done. So that's an issue. And look, it's tough because a lot of times we go through this only once or twice in a lifetime. And our house is wet. Mm-hmm. You go ahead.
Here's the deal. He also told me that I've been doing this a long time, that I need to give him what my deductible was from home.
Yeah, right.
And my deductible from my flood insurance. I need to write him a check for that.
Right.
I said, whoa, man. That don't seem right to me. Oh, no, I've been doing this for years. Well, finally, my insurance company back did not do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I don't know. It's just crazy to me,
Yeah. Well, it's tough. I mean, it's a tough thing because, like I said, we only do this maybe once every 20, 25 years, 20, 16 years. And
I'll get you
Yeah. Well, I got you, Bo. Well, thanks for the call. I know y'all got it. Y'all got hit hard in Laplace, and
Yeah. Do I have to get that money?
if you sign a contract, you probably do. But the insurance company, it sounds like the insurance company's going to take care of it. Just eats into a portion of your policy. But all right, Bo. Thanks for the call. Good to hear from you from Laplace. Let's go to a break. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers Sinceri, Ida Recovery Connection. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.
Every Friday at 4 p.m., the countdown to the football weekend officially begins with Deuce McAllister. Okay, we have Rick from Gretna. As we break down all the games, from the Saints' next opponent and key matchups in the NFC South to LSU's next battle and big clashes in the SEC. We'll make our picks and hear the picks from you, the fans out there who bleed black and gold and purple and gold. Hoss and Deuce, fans and the pros, Fridays, 4 to 7 p.m. here on WWL.
DraftKings Sportsbook is coming soon to Louisiana. It won't be long until you can bet on all your favorite sports from the comfort of your own home. To celebrate, DraftKings Sportsbook is giving customers $100 in free bets when you sign up before they go live. No deposit required. DraftKings is bringing their experience as a leader in daily fantasy sports to the sports betting world and have created one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps, DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code BIG870 when you sign up. Those who sign up right now will get $100 in free bets to use once mobile sports betting hits Louisiana. That's code BIG870 to get $100 in free bets instantly, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-770-STOP. 7867. 21 and over. Louisiana only. Availability varies by parish. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full terms and conditions.
If you drive a car, truck, SUV, or vehicle of any kind, you need Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. That's right. With the free Get Upside gas app, you can get up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time you buy gas. Nearly 3 million people have earned cash back with Get Upside just for buying gas.
I always use Get Upside. Some months I make $200 to $300.
I love getting money back for things I use every day. It's just free money for buying gas.
There's no catch. It's simple, and you get your cash back right away.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents per gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code HORN for a 25 cent per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents per gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Earn cash back on gas on every fill-up. Just download the free Get
Hey,
Upside
Doug,
app.
phone line's clear.
For a 25 cent per gallon bonus on your first tank.
Who got?
Use code HORN.
Rick from Gretna.
Medicare. Join People's Health for an educational seminar to learn about your options. People's Health has plans with benefits beyond original Medicare, like $0 drugs, dental, vision, fitness, and over-the-counter items, to name a few. This year, give yourself the gift of People's Health. Visit peopleshealth.com to find a meeting location and time near you. That's peopleshealth.com for a meeting near you. Registration's encouraged but not required. There's no obligation to enroll.
At my friend Andrew Attorney, we know that car wrecks don't keep regular business hours, and neither do we. If you've been hurt
Albert has to fit one as an attorney commercial during our show.
we have people standing by, ready to take your call,
It's because
ready to
mad.
give you free advice, and ready to help you get the medical attention you need.
So we don't
You
buy
have
the
to wait till
commercials.
tomorrow to call an attorney. Call me, Mike Brandner. We're the 24/7 injury attorneys, and we're available to get you the help you need right now.
Results may vary. Offices in Metairie and Hammond.
Since 1935, the Allstate Sugar Bowl has been a proud New Orleans New Year's Day tradition. And for 87 years, the Sugar Bowl has hosted top-ranked teams, All-Americans, and national champions. Now, on New Year's Day, the best of the Big 12 and SEC will square off in the 88th All-State Sugar Bowl. Get your tickets today. Visit allstatesugarbowl.org for ticket information. The Sugar Bowl is presented by Allstate, the Louisiana Office of Tourism, and Taco Bell. Monthly subscription now available. JujubeMeMedical.com.
Hey, New Orleans, we want your stuff. DependableStorage.com. For all station contest rules, go to WWL.com/rules.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well,
Okay, we have one more short one after this, and then we'll go live. And we have Rick from Gretna.
all you can do is hope the right person comes along.
which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We're all on this planet together. Here we go. Join Odyssey and find your one thing. Planning a road trip this fall? Maximize your fuel economy by inflating tires to proper pressure and packing light. Join Odyssey, and together, each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
Back to the Ida Recovery Connection on the station you turn to when it counts. WWL, the Big 870 AM, 105.3 FM, WWL.com, and the Odyssey app. Contact attorney Doug Sinceri now on the Oakland Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers Sinceri, Ida Recovery Connection. Let's go to phone lines. Let's go to Rich in Gretna. Hey, Rich, you on the Ida Recovery Connection? Rick.
Hey, how you doing today?
Sorry about that. I called you Rich, but you're Rick. All right, brother.
It's Rick.
All right, man. What you?
I have a question. I painted a client house. And I stripped it to the velvet. I primed it. I did the whole job. I mean, literally, finished the job up. I kept asking the guy for payment. He kept telling me, "Well, I'm not going to pay you until the job is finished." 99% of the job was completed. Then he started being picky. He would not give me the paint to finish the bottom of the deck, which was all left with some small stuff. So I got pictures, I got receipts. I had to pay for all the materials, I had to pay for all the labor, and I never got paid from this job. And I'm trying to figure out what would be my next step. Can I bring him a quarter? What can I do?
How much does he owe you?
Almost $8,500.
Do you have a contract with him?
Well, I did a proposal with him, and I emailed him a proposal, but he would never sign the contract. So when I stopped doing it, I stayed away from the job for about a week. Then he told me he was going to sue me because I left the weatherboards were left open, so I had to go back, prime the weatherboard. I finished the job because I didn't want to get sued myself. Completed the whole job.
Yeah.
Except 99%. I mean, I would say about 10% of the job, which was not finished because he would not give me the color for the deck to finish the job because he would just kept nitpicking and nitpicking. I would ask him, once to give me a punch list, he would never give me a punch list. So I decided to leave the job because it was like he didn't want to pay. And I did about 4 or 5 jobs in the neighborhood, and I found out later that he do most of the customers like that. So I'm just trying to figure out how to get my money out.
You got a couple of options. You're on the West Bank. There's Justice of Peace has a jurisdiction of up to $5,000, but you're a little higher than that. There's something called Second Parish Court, which is adjacent. Adjacent to the in the courthouse off of UEP Long and complex.
The job was done in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Oh, is it New Orleans? Okay, then what you could do is go to First City Court. First City Court is on the corner of Poydras and Loyola, the second floor, and they have a court. First, they have a court that has a jurisdictional limit of $25,000, I believe. So it's sort of a court for. They're a little more lenient to unrepresented claimants, and basically the law is going to state, since in absence of contract, what was the value of your services? That's what they're going to look at. It's called quantum merit, meaning what is the value of the service you performed in absence of a contract for a specific price and a specific scope of work. So, but you go to second floor clerk, You're going to have to know, you fill out some information. You're going to have to fill out where he's going to be served with the lawsuit. And, they won't tell you exactly what to do, but they can point you in the right direction. And so you'd file, and what they would do eventually is after you sue him, you'd have to go back after he's served and ask the court or go to the clerk's office and ask them to file a motion to set trial. And at the trial, you could present your case. Now, when you present your case in First City Court, you're going to have to present it properly. I mean, they'll have a little leniency, but for the most part, these are judges. And, if the other side has an attorney, you're going to have to present your case in a way that is acceptable to the court.
Well, do you think I should get a lawyer to do this?
You could. You could possibly get a lawyer to do that. It sounds like you did work for him and he didn't pay you at all. Did he pay you anything?
No, not one penny.
Well, I mean, it seems like you would collect something. So yeah, you can get a lawyer. A lot of times, lawyers are a little expensive for a $7,000-8,000 claim. So sometimes, if you could maneuver it yourself, you could try it. But if you feel like you need a lawyer, that's an option.
Okay.
All right, but you would file your claim. You'd file it on First City Court on the corner of it's right across from the Superdome almost, or not directly across. I guess across from the Buster and Dave's.
It's just a CDC.
Civil District Court. Yeah, so it's second floor, and you can file a lawsuit. If not, you can call around and see if a lawyer would, they might be able to take the case. All right. All right, my man.
Good luck, Rick.
We wish you a big best of luck. I appreciate it. Thanks much. And thanks for the call. It's calling from Gretna. You know who's famous from Gretna?
Who?
Mel Ott.
Who's Mel Ott?
You know who Mel Ott was like one of the first people in Major League Baseball, besides Babe Ruth, to hit 500 home runs.
When was that?
In the early, I think in the 1920s and 30s, maybe 1930s and 40s.
Yeah, I remember that.
I know. Maybe someone we knew would know that. And John Forcade, he's from Gretna.
Oh, I do know John Forcade.
Greg Monroe, former NBA player. There you go. All right. But do we have a caller?
Nothing fun.
Okay. So I'll tell you what. Let's go to an early break. Is that all right, Doug? Let's go to a break. And Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers, Sinceri, Ida Recovery Connection. We'll be right back after this brief and early timeout.
This holiday season, say I love you with a pair of diamond stud earrings from Open Heart Jewelers. Let me read you this online review from Kristen. I purchased an absolutely beautiful pair of diamond stud earrings today at Oakland Heart. They treated me like a superstar.
Okay, you're going to have about 8.5 minutes to cover before the top of the hour and end of the show.
All right.
An Oakland family
Sounds
member
good.
personally searches through hundreds of diamonds and chooses only those with the most fire and brilliance. Don't think for a minute that all diamonds are alike. Ours really sparkle, and you don't need a loupe to see the difference. Plus, we buy direct, so we bring you the best for less. And no matter how much you want to spend, we have a huge selection of diamond studs to choose from in every price range, second to none. Yeah, this has been another crazy year, but don't let anything spoil your joy. Come see us at Oakland Heart Jewelers on Metairie Road.
Diamonds Direct celebrates the holidays with you with a magical offer to make your dream gift more affordable than ever. Starting this Friday, we're offering 4 years zero interest financing.
No, how to get SBA loans forgiveness.
A bigger diamond, an elegant pair of diamond earrings, or a stunning diamond eternity band. With this amazing offer, you can afford to go big this Christmas. Just pick any item, get the unbeatable value price Diamonds Direct is known for, and spread your payments over 4 years with zero interest. Think about it. A $9,000 designer ring comes out to just $188 a month. At Diamonds Direct, our showcases are filled this year with gifts you'll absolutely love. Gifts that will last a lifetime. Colored gemstones, all new designer jewelry from New York and LA, and the biggest collection of rare, precious diamonds we've ever offered. It all starts Black Friday. Diamonds Direct special holiday finance offer. Get holiday hours, directions, and see exclusive online Black Friday offers at diamondsdirect.com. On approved credit.
operations in the Wall Street propaganda machine? Hi, this is best-selling author Rory Richard from right here in Louisiana, and I want to give you a free copy of my new book, Crash Proof Wealth. Because according to Time magazine, Wall Street retirement plans and 401ks have failed millions of Americans. After seeing the last market crash over 39%, I said enough. I discovered a way to grow money potentially double digits, reduce taxes dramatically, and also have my money protected when the next stock market crash hits. When the next market crash hits, you lose nothing. Call Platinum Financial now to get a free copy of my book and talk to me personally to discover this little-known strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years and never lose when the next stock market crash hits. Call 1-800-259-3131 to discover this asset that people like Walt Disney and J.C. Penney used to grow wealthy. And I'll even cover shipping and handling. No credit card required. Call 1-800-259-3131. That's 1-800-259-3131. Again, 1-800-259-3131.
Hey, non-lawyer spokesperson. Business and homeowners, if your Hurricane Ida insurance claim has been denied or underestimated, legal help is available. Call the Arpino, Avon, and Hawkins law firm today. Call 504-525-1500. Responsible attorney Anthony Arpino, office in New Orleans.
If you have Medicare, join People's Health for an educational seminar to learn about your options. People's Health.
Okay, First Security Financial is the last spot.
Gotcha.
$0 drugs, dental, vision, fitness, and over-the-counter items, to name a few. This year, give yourself the gift of People's Health. Visit peopleshealth.com to find a meeting location and time near you. That's peopleshealth.com for a meeting near you. Registration's encouraged but not required. There's no obligation to enroll.
Hey folks, Bobby Abear here from my friends over at Clearwater Pools and Spas. Get your backyard ready for the cooler weather with a hot tub from Clearwater Pools and Spas. They have the largest selection in Louisiana, including hot spring spas. Clearwater Pools and Spas also has a great selection of high-end grills. Make your backyard the place to watch the game in style. Visit Clearwater Pools and Spas in Covington, Metairie, Baton Rouge, Pearl, Mississippi, or their newest location in Gulfport. Clearwater Pools and Spas, CWNOLA.com.
Is your retirement plan out of tune? Learn how to get yours in tune with the First Security Financial Show. Join host David Compton Saturday morning 8 to 9 for helpful tips to retirement. The First Security Financial Show, Saturdays on WWL. Thanks for joining attorney Doug Sinceri on the Ida Recovery Connection, from the station you turn to when it counts. WWL. Consult with Doug now on the Open Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870.
Hey, we're back. It's Thursday, huh?
Yeah, no, it's Thursday.
Thursday is not Saintsgiving.
Ah.
According to corporate, it celebrates Thanksgiving when the Black and Gold host the Buffalo Bills in the Caesars Superdome. Are you used to that, Caesars Superdome?
No, I can't get used to it.
We'll get used to it. You will get used to it. Game day coverage starts at 3:10. First take with Steve Geller and Scott Alexander. Time for the Who Dat Nation to check in at 5 o'clock. The Bud Light countdown to kickoff with Bobby Abear, Christian Garrick, featuring Mike Detillier. Game time at 7:20. Sync up, Mike Hoss and Deuce McAllister. So what you do is you turn your radio on and you put your DVD or your TiVo, what have you, and you sync up Deuce and Mike where the game action's happening at the same time as they're
so you can hear them rather than turn down the sound. Then after the game, sound off with the Cajun Cannon, Saints Bills primetime Thanksgiving night on WWL. So you remember, so they asked me to one time explain it, and I did a bad job of explaining on how to sync up Mike and Deuce so that you can watch them. And, because usually sometimes the feed is behind the radio call or sync it on your TV.
Yeah, sync it on your TV. You just sort of
smart TV.
Yeah, smart TV. So, but listen to Deuce and Mike. It's better than Troy and Buck, that's for sure. Also, we will be on. Scott Alexander. I saw him last Wednesday night. Oh, who do we have?
Bob from the North Shore.
I tell you what. We won't fill time anymore. Let's go to Bob. Hey, Bob, what you got for us? You got a couple minutes. Bob.
Listen to all of the horror stories about the fights with the insurance companies and so forth.
Yes, sir.
And I know that that's how you lawyers make your money. After Katrina, it took me 2 days to cut my way out the high Highway 41, me and my neighbor. My insurance company came in and said, how old's your roof? I said, 22 years old. He said, let's just replace it. I had a play area out back for my kids, and he said, we'll allow you this much for that. And later on, I found out you could get $500 for a hit on your house or a fence from a tree. And my insurance agent said, well, we'll have to have all of the receipts for tree removal. And I said, you want to play that game? I'll get your receipts. He said, let's not play that game. I'll just cut you a check for the 9 hits on your fence.
Mm-hmm.
And after Ida, they came out and looked at my roof. I had some shingles off. They had a couple of adjusters, I think from Illinois, a couple of ladies. One of them crawled up on the roof, nailed the shingles back on, and said, hey, you're good to go. This is the kind of service that we should get from insurance companies. And I've been with this particular insurance company since 1963. And it is just phenomenal how much problem people have with their own insurance companies.
Well, I mean, that's we wouldn't be on Tuesday nights if there wasn't. That's for sure. It's well, part of it is I think we just have to have the correct expectations of what needs to be done in order to maximize your claim, and that's why we're here. And basically, what you have to do is identify your damages and quantify them. And that's very hard for a lot of people to do, especially in the aftermath of a hurricane, because the contractors are short, supplies are short, and it's very, very difficult. But, part of, the process is, and that's what we're trying to teach is the process, is you can't really rely on the insurance companies to quantify your damages in most cases. Every once in a while, you'll have your insurance company with an adjuster who work together really well, and it works out. And it seems to happen in situations where you don't have a mass disaster and it's an isolated incident. But since there's a mass disaster, the insurance companies have shortage, they might have thousands of claims and they have trouble processing the claims and they sort of get stuck in the queue. And, the homeowners have difficulties because there's not contractors readily available. They don't exactly know what the insurance companies need in order to process their claim. So it is a very difficult process, and that's what we're trying to do is just give information so that, ideally, if they could do it themselves, quantify the damages and work out with the insurance companies, that would be the best for everyone because, lawyers are a last resort. And so, yeah.
I didn't want to badmouth lawyers. I'm just saying that a lot of it seems to me to be common sense to say, hey, we've got this much damage. Let's put you back. And that's all the insurance company is responsible for is to put you back as you were.
I think the problem is quantifying it and arguing over scope. Whether your roof should be replaced or should it be repaired. Whether the sheetrock should be painted over and disinfected or taken out. Whether the floors, wood floors should be sanded down or taken out. I mean, you have all these questions. And to be quite frank, we always say there's 3 buckets in an insurance claim. One bucket where it's 100% insurance covered. One bucket where it is not covered. Maybe dry rot, things that were there before. Then you have that middle bucket, which can go either way. The attorneys for the policyholder say we should get 100% of that bucket. The insurance companies say you should get 0% of that bucket. And that's where you have the disagreements. And a lot of them are very legitimate disagreements. Some of them maybe less obvious. So, that's where that sort of happens. And that's where the disagreements occur. And I think that sometimes the insurance companies have a hard time because the homeowners will say, come out and look at my damages again. And insurance companies say, no, you got to quantify your damages. It's your job. It's not our job to quantify it. It's our job to do an initial payment based on an initial inspection. But if you want more than that, it's your job to quantify those damages. And that's what we're trying to convey on how to do that.
Well, I appreciate the information that you guys have given out. It is just sterling. I just say that there are insurance companies out there that do not
Sure.
fit the mold
Right.
of a contentious
Right.
kind of relationship.
Right. Well, and that's why they wouldn't, like we're like the complaint department at a department store. People don't go to the complaint department saying, I enjoyed my experience for this. But thanks so much for the call, Michelle. Thanks for joining.
Always. Thank you.
And we'll see you next week on the Ida Recovery at Tuesday night. Albert and I will be on All Things Legal on Sunday morning from 8 to 10. We'll see you then. Have a great week. Have a blessed Thanksgiving.
All right, good job.
Thank you, Doug. Have a good, happy Thanksgiving.
New Orleans and Odyssey Station.